Hello guys, welcome to the second video tutorial on Android development, and in this video we are gonna be creating our first app of Android Studio. So that's where we left in the last video, and now what we're gonna do that we're gonna hit on start a new Android Studio project, and in here we're gonna be selecting this, and this kind of application will be opened. So here we have a warning that project location should not contain white spaces. Okay, so for that we'll change the name of our application. One warning that will appear here when you will actually use the small case letter to be the first letter of your app. So in this case you can see the M of my app is a small case letter, so I have to change it to the uppercase letter as capital M. So that problem is now solved. So now it is saying that project location should not contain white space, as this can cause problems with the NDK tools. So remember that wherever your project is located, there should be no file that should contain any spaces inside the folder names, right? So instead of spaces, you can use underscores on your folder's name. So I will give it a location where a folder does not contain any kind of spaces. So when I will hit that, you can see that the warning here is gone. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I will hit next, and in here you can see that we have these kind of options. Okay, and in these options I can develop app for a wear, like watch, Android watches that you usually have. I can create an app for TV. I can create an app for Google Glass and Android Auto also. Okay, so I can also create apps for all kind of Google devices, whatever in whatever form they are. Like it could be watch, it could be TV, it could be a Google Glass, or it could be a phone and tablet. So for now I'm gonna be focusing on phone and tablet, so that's why I will select this option. Okay, so now the next thing that I need to do, that I will select here a platform of Android development. Okay, platform means the operating system of Android device. Okay, so if I select this 5.0 lollipop, then you will come to know that it covers 40.5% of the devices. So that means you're gonna be having an advanced structure of devices according to which you can design or create your apps. Okay, so for example, if I select KitKat, you can see that it covers 73.9% of the devices, right? So this app will run on KitKat version and the version that comes after KitKat, like Lollipop and other versions. Okay, and Marshmallow, etc. So you can see if I select Jelly Bean, it covers 87.4% devices, and obviously I will have less advancement if I select the ice cream sandwich. Okay, so I have to create the app according to the device structures of ice cream sandwich operating system. Okay, but there is an advantage that it covers approximately 97.4% of the audience. Okay, that uses Android devices, right? So try to go with the maximum audience. If you want to cover maximum audience, you have to select this. Okay, ice cream sandwich. uh, on the day which the video has been made, this ice cream sandwich is the lowest version that you can select. Okay, so we will select that, and it covers 97.4% of the devices. Okay, so now hit next. Now you came to the activity page, where you can select any kind of activity that you want. Okay, you can also select add no activity. You can also select basic activity or whatever you want from here. So what I will select an empty activity. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I will select this empty activity and I will hit next. So when I will hit next, it will ask me to name that activity. So I will name that as main activity. I will keep it that way, and now I will hit finish. Okay, now the finish has been hitted. So what it's gonna do, it is going to create an app for me. Okay, so the Android app will be created for me in a while. So now you can see that this kind of window is opened up. Okay, so it is still taking time and it is showing me the tips here. So I will see the next tips and I will just close this. Okay, so now what I need to do, I'll go to my project, and here you can see that main activity .java has been created. So when you will go to the activity main.xml, here you will see an Android device, most probably the Nexus phone on which you can run your apps. That would be your emulator. So I will show you that how can you actually create an emulator in your Android Studio. I will also tell you that how will you be what are those things that are necessary to download in order to run the emulator on your laptop or on your computer. Okay, so now, okay, rendering problems, missing styles is the correct theme chosen for this layout. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, right now I'm facing some errors here, so but I will ignore that. Okay, so I will just try to run my app. So this is an Android device Nexus 4 that has been shown here. So the app is already been created, hello world by default. Okay, so it is written here by default, I have not written it. Okay, so this is my app and I will show you that how can you now run your app. So before that, if you want to change your device, I can change from here. Nexus 5, I have chosen that, and my emulator is also Nexus 5, that's why I have chosen this. Okay, so now I will show you that how can you create your emulator. Okay, before that I will also show you that how can you select your theme. If you want to select any theme from here, you can select that. So I have selected the default theme of the device. Okay, so I will choose that, and now what I will do, I will go here, and in order to create the emulator and to run the emulator, what I will do, I will go here. Okay, and I will try and run my program, and in here you will see the number of devices that you will be having as your emulators. Okay, so right now you have nothing here. You will be having nothing here because you just install your Android Studio. So go to the create new emulator. Okay, and select any device from here that you want to create as your emulator, and your app will be displayed on that phone. Or if you want to have a tablet, you can select your tablet. You can have your Android Wear. Okay, if you want to have your TV, you can also select your TV from here as an emulator. So I have selected the phone as an emulator. Okay, so when you will hit next, okay, after having this phone, you will have to select the version. Okay, then you have to select next, and then you have to select finish, and it will download your application or your phone or your operating system, whatever the requirements are, your operating system and your device as an emulator, it will download that. Okay, so after when your emulator will be downloaded, you will have this kind of option here. So your emulator or your mobile model will be displayed right here, and then what you need to do, you need to select that, and when you will hit OK, your app will start running. But before that, I need to show you something that is pretty important. Okay, come here, up here, and keep your cursor here. This is your SDK Manager. Okay, So you need to click on that, and when you will click on that, you need to make sure one thing, that you click on this launch standalone SDK manager. Okay, so click on that, and your SDK manager will start loading, and a window will pop up in front of you, a window like this. Okay, so in here you need to check some tools and you need to install them. So come here in extras. Okay, open the extras. Okay, like this, and in here you need to select this last option, that is Intel x86 emulator accelerator. Okay, so you can see that I have already installed that, so check that and hit on the install package, right? Because I have already installed that, so I'm not going to install that. My whole purpose is about telling you this, that this you need to install this. Okay, so now what you need to do, the last thing, so after that, when you install that HAXM installer, what you need to do, you need to go to your C directory where you have your SDK installed, so Android here. So you'll go to your SDK folder, whatever. First of all, you need to go to your Android in your C directory where Android Studio has installed the SDK folder. Okay, so in this Android folder, you need to go to SDK. Okay, these two are extra. Okay, so because I have installed Android Studio twice, so SDK1 and SDK2 has been created in that folder because of that. So don't worry, if you will install Android Studio once, you will be having only this one folder, SDK. So go into the SDK folder, and then you need to go into this extras folder. Okay, 1 2 3 4, on the number 4, extras, click here, and now you need to go into this third folder, that is Intel, and now you have only this one folder, hardware accelerated execution manager, and in here you need to select this Intel HAXM Android. Okay, so hit this and install this folder, install this application. Okay, I have already installed that, but for your demo I am installing it again. Okay, so you will see that preparing to install, so follow all the steps and just install that. Okay, so okay, so next, and here because I have already installed that, so I will cancel that. Okay, I'll cancel that, finish that. Okay, because I have already installed it. So now these are the steps that includes running your application. If you don't do these steps, your application is not gonna run, and it will show you some random errors and you have to fix them one by one. Okay, so remember, first you have to create an emulator, and then you have to install a package by going into SDK Manager, and then you need to install your Intel HAXM accelerator manually by going into your Android folder. Okay, I hope you have got the concept here. So now the time has come to run our first application. This is our first application actually. We have just taken an empty activity, and by default it is written hello world in that, and this is the name of my app, and that is my app. Okay, so now let's run our program. You can either run your program from this triangle button, or you can run your program from your AVD manager, Android device monitor. Okay, so let's say we run from here our app, and I have two devices. I can select either of them and I can run my program. So I will select Nexus 5. All right, so I will hit OK. Now what it will do, it will start running my application, and all the details regarding my app will start appearing here. So you can see that it will take time to run the app because it has to render a lot, so you have to wait until your application runs completely. So now you will see this kind of option, launching app. Okay, so now your app will be launched shortly on an emulator of your Android. Okay,